Hey guys, I haven't made a video in a very long time, and well, partly I haven't had any topics, and I've been in school. I just got out of school, just finished finals, so I decided I might make a video. It's been quite a while, so today I'm going to try something different. Lately I've been having a lot of conversation with different people about basically, where the human race would be without religion. So where would we be, without religion? And a female friend of mine has said that, the human race would no doubt have found other things to inspire it, so perhaps more legitimate things. Who's to say that we might have accomplished what we might have not accomplished if the human race was not praying or bobbing and chanting and thinking that there was this all-seeing, wise, good, loving God who cares about the clothes that we wear and whether or not we eat pork on a Friday and various other ridiculous superstitions. So where would we be if we didn't have this big aspect of our lives that were hindering us from possibly moving forward? And where would we be if there wasn't this made up concept of hell and Satan, who he, meaning God, sends us to if we refuse to believe in him or even question his existence? So, the question is, where would we be if we weren't in such fear of questioning these things? So my answer is, yes, I'm pretty sure that we would be better off without it. There would be less death and destruction and probably a lot less separation within humankind. I mean, really, all of our actions, our decisions have been and still are being decided by our utmost strongest belief systems, that being religion in many aspects. Any kind of authorial system in general, really. But with that aside, the fact is, humankind, it didn't find anything else to inspire with. We didn't. And it hasn't. And I'm not saying it won't, but what I'm saying is that it did find religion. Wherever and wherever we've been, wherever we've gone, that has always kind of been our, support system. In a nutshell, the human race is what it is, and it did what it did, and that's that. And there's really not much we can say about that now. I mean, in all honesty, we might as well call ourselves Homo religious rather than Homo sapiens. Am I right? And yes, superstitions are religious, but isn't it quite interesting, though, how universal superstition is? Even rational people, atheists, non-believers, believers, theists, everybody, have been known to, for example, buy a lottery ticket when they feel lucky, or wear a lucky shirt to a football match. I mean, these ideas of universal superstitions are there, not walking underneath a ladder, or just all of these concepts, they're there for everybody. But the interesting thing is, there are a lot of scientific explanations to this so-called benefits of belief. The positive aspects that you get out of religion or any type of belief system in general. For example, the example I'm going to use is chanting. Prayer sort of thing, you know. It's quite interesting because it alters our state of consciousness that it can produce. So, for example, chanting out loud. This could be singing, dancing, praying out loud, praying, you know, in a large with a large group of people at church, singing and dancing at church. You know, there's things like that everywhere, you know. Well, it's to be found that it can reduce carbon dioxide concentration of the blood to below its normal level, because one is expiring more carbon dioxide than what is usually produced in the body, especially when unexpected or involuntarily. It can have these adverse effects such as dizziness, headaches, fainting. So, you know, I'm sure that you've seen these commercials on television, or these shows on TV on Sunday morning of these women who are looking like they've just had a demon sucked from their chest. And they are experiencing this dizziness, this headache, this fainting type of things. But people who deliberately hyperventilate through chanting generally will report a kind of euphoria, something that feels very good, following by feelings of enhanced mental clarity, calm, satisfaction, relaxation. All of these feelings can come from chanting and prayer and other types of just those types of mindsets and those things that you may do in church with your community. MRI scans show brain changes to brain activity consistent with deep relaxation and enhanced alertness. Even silent chanting or prayer to yourself, even concepts of like meditation, or anything that you do that you divert awareness away from your regular thoughts that you would have filling your mind on a regular day. Just clearing your mind in general, or changing your thought process. Focusing on your breathing, concentration on an object, or on possibly something you're reading, a mental image. If you're going through, you know, your rosary, or anything really that you're doing, if you're focusing really strongly on a statue of the Virgin Mary, any of these things can induce particular set of psychological and physiological effects. It can change your mindset. It can change the way you feel physically. And in a lot of cases, it includes a wakeful state. You know, you just feel very, you know, I guess alive. It decreases these physiological markers and changes other types of patterns that, you know, you usually have. Your usual patterns. I know a lot of people who do not take the Bible literally, including my mother, whom is a Christian. I'm an atheist, but even we can speak about religion and the Bible in a way where we do not feel offended with each other. She reads the Bible not as a manual, not as something that is literal, a rule book, but she reads it more of a big book of analogies. They're not to be taken literally. But at the same time, you know, most religious individuals believe in Satan and hell and eternal damnation and all this bullshit, and I can't for the life of me figure out how they manage to do it, since it seems no different to me than reading any other fairy tale, any other folk tale, or anything that is not considered religion anymore, but is instead storytelling. And quite frankly, I am flabbergasted when people quote spiritual authority for their attitudes and actions, their bigotry and beliefs. To me, one might as well just quote any fairy tale. Quote a Disney film. I don't see it any different. But just as not all science results in weapons and destructive technologies, I'm not, saying that there are no destructive qualities to science either. But as I was saying, as there are not, weapons of destruction and all of these really dangerous technologies wielded by religious elite, so too there are not religious results in non-sensual maxims. I mean, not all religious institutions, structures, individuals are extremists either. And they don't all hold these repressive power structures wielded by narrow-minded bigots. I mean, I would like to think that for the most part they mean well. For the most part, I think a lot of us mean well, don't we? I don't think religion has ever been a safer option, the better alternative to understanding the world. I think that the fact that we probably, as individuals, we don't mean any harm. As an atheist does not mean any harm, and it is probably out of the goodwill of humanity that they have the arguments that they do and they feel the ways that they do, because they see these negative aspects and these things that it's doing to humanity, and that scares them, and they care about these people. But at the same time, a religious individual, they may throw all of their beliefs at you, but that is because they care, and that is all that they know. So, but still, I don't really think that religion is the safer option. I don't think it's the better alternative to understanding the world. With the idea that there are so many gods, your God, his God, all of them, demanding this concept of obedience and belief in them, well, to keep them alive. It is generally our job to keep them alive. But I say we don't. I say we let them die. Not one of them. I mean all of them. I think that generally it's better to pick none than it is to pick one. Maybe it's time to start thinking for ourselves. It may be difficult and we probably don't want to do it, because it's a hell of a lot easier to have a support system of something that is much more almightier than us than it is to take 100% responsibility for ourselves and the earth and everything that is wrong. But at the second time, we need to give humanity and the earth a second chance. I think that if we take this responsibility, we have a very good chance of fixing things. That's it for now. If you have any comments, thoughts, additions, criticism, anything, you can even make a response video, whatever you feel like doing. Leave me a comment at the bottom. If you think that I should dig deeper into these types of ideas, let me know as well. Bye, guys.